Assalamu alaikum, everyone. I'm probably going to wait until a few people join, but I hope you have seen the message that I uploaded on Google Classroom. If you want to learn phone photography, then I have uploaded 2 links for both iPhone users and Android users for apps that they should download on their phone. Otherwise, if you have a professional camera, a DSLR that you want to learn photography from, please take it out and have it next to you if you have one. Otherwise, I'm going to wait for a few more minutes until more people join in. Okay, I think a lot of people are having problems with the link, but I think I'll have to start anyway. Someone asked. Please, before we start, अगर आपको कहीं लगे कि I'm going a bit too fast or you don't understand anything, please do not hesitate to stop me. I will try my best to explain it again. अगर फिर से कोई मसला आया तो please message me personally or write it again in the group in the chat down below, or ask me again, because I think these sessions are really helpful if you take full advantage of them. So please make sure to do that. Secondly, if you guys are comfortable with turning on your cameras, please do that. I think it would be a better learning and teaching experience for all of us. Because ऐसे मुझे पता लगेगा if you guys are even interested, or if you guys are getting really bored. So अगर आप लोग comfortable हो तो turn on your cameras. If not, then that's completely fine as well. We can do it this way as well. If you have any question, please use the raise hand wala option. Do not turn on your mic and interrupt. I think वो बहुत confusing हो जाता है, and I'll probably forget what I was teaching. So yeah, please use the raise hand wala option. If you don't know where the option is, then message in the chat box that you have a question, or just write down your question, and I will try my best to help you guys out. As far as everything else is concerned, yesterday's class was unfortunately not recorded, so I will be giving a recap. I will try my best to shorten it because I know a lot of you were in the class yesterday, so I don't want to, make it really boring. And My mentors and I will be giving a brief introduction as well. So if you guys weren't here yesterday, one of our mentors, who is also the head, Zinia Mehdi, is currently not here. She couldn't make it, but when you guys have a class with her, hopefully in this week, she will give a brief introduction. Until then, Anush, could you please give an introduction, and then we'll move on to Vanya.
Okay, so can you guys hear me? I hope you can hear me. All right, so my name is Anush Kinan. I am a photographer and filmmaker. I'll be mentoring you guys throughout this process. I've been doing photography for the last 4 to 5 years. So I hope that everything I've learned throughout these years, I'll be able to share my skill set with you. So I'll pass on the mic to Vanya.
Assalamu alaikum everyone. As I mentioned yesterday, I've been doing photography for like 3 years with my school's photography society. Then I moved to event and portrait photography, and then now I do paid and unpaid photography as well. And yes, that's pretty much it.
Okay, perfect. So I'll give an introduction. Can you see it? Please give me a...
Yes.
Okay, great. Okay. So basically what we covered yesterday in the class was types of photography. So I'll start with corporate photography. There are 2 types. There's product and event photography. Like I mentioned, I do product photography. Then there's wildlife and nature. We have portrait photography. We have action, fashion, street, travel, and architecture. So basically, corporate photography mein, wait, hold on. I can't see my mouse. Okay. Wait, guys. Hold on. Sorry. I couldn't see my... So sorry, technology is just like... There we go. Okay. So corporate photography में basically event photography होती है, जिसमें documentary work होता है, and there's portrait and wedding photography. और फिर product photography में you basically have to take pictures of different products, but brands वगैरह आपको कहती हैं, and then you have to think of different ways you can do it. So you have to make sure that so there are a lot of brands out there, right? So you have to make sure whatever you're putting out is very specific and unique to the brand itself. So I'm pretty sure there are like so many skincare brands out there. So if everyone starts doing the same thing, so there's nothing, you know, attractive to the audience or to the customers left anymore. Okay, because everything is like marketing is basically done with photographs and stuff right these days. So jitni hype aap bana sakte ho, and I think photographs play a really huge part in that, because social media pe sabse pehle wohi lagti hain when new brands are launching or when a new product is launching. So like Vanya mentioned, some corporate photographers in Pakistan are OPM Shoots, Irfan Ehsan, and I'm pretty sure you've heard of them. In corporate photography, this is basically all the different types. So we see concerts, we see weddings. Ye jo skincare wali hain, these are actually my own pictures. and I will hopefully tell you guys how I took them later on. So wildlife may, you have to go to basically places where you can capture the essence of the animals truly. And, you have to be really quick about it, but also very silent because, animals are pretty dangerous to be around in the first place. And one noise could, catch the animal's attention and they could just like fly off or run away and you would miss the shot. So you have to be very focused and manage your time very efficiently. Then there's portrait photography. You basically have to, focus on your subject, which is the person, but also make sure that the background makes sense and it's not something that, you would be like, ye piche ho kya raha hai? But the main focus is always obviously the model or the person in the picture. The one on the left is, I think, Wanya's picture, and the one on the extreme right is a picture taken by Zinia Mehdi herself, who is also a mentor here. And then there's action photography. So action photography is basically like you have to manage your time here as well, because ab jo ek dafa action ho gaya, it's probably not going to happen again, right? So you have to be really careful about that, and you have to make sure that you capture the moment very on spot and on time. Then there's fashion. It's different from portrait photography because mostly studio light and a lot of studios are involved. But basically, I'm pretty sure you guys have seen magazines where fashion photography is mostly done. And yeah, that's it. It's a bit different from portrait photography, even though like un dono mein hota to model ya person hi hai. But it does get a bit technical because there's like studio work, then there's like 100 people working on the model with makeup and jewelry and clothes and stuff. So that's like on a larger scale. And then there's street photography, which is one of my favorite ones, but I barely get a chance to do them. But the thing with street photography is you could either take it and just put it up on Instagram because like, I don't know, you were passing by and you just took a picture, or you could actually capture something that has a lot of emotions in it. And I think that's the best part about street photography because every picture is different. There are so many street photographers on Instagram, but bahut sare, they take them at metro stations and like subways, but each and every picture is different from the rest. So I think that's why everything stands out. Then there's travel photography. I think travel photography ka best ye hai ki whenever anyone goes on a vacation, they end up taking really good pictures and they kind of turn into like a travel blogger or something, which is pretty cool. I think it's a good learning experience and everything. So yeah. And then there's architectural photography. It's basically about, taking pictures to show different architectures. And I think उसमें आपका जो perspective या जो आपका view होता है वो बहुत count करता है, and it matters a lot क्योंकि उसमें आपको दिखाना पड़ता है like, oh, अब how do I get this entire building to show, right? So you have to find a really good angle for all of that stuff, and I think people who are able to do that are pretty cool. So yeah, that was just like a brief introduction. I hope I didn't take really long, but yeah. If you have any questions, please let me know. If not, can I move on to the class for today? Please raise your hand. Okay. Okay, great. We're going to move on. So, okay, great. I would like to know if you could raise, if all the people who are here to learn phone photography, could you please raise your hand? Okay, I have like, okay.
I think most of the students they want to learn manual photography. So I guess settings for the DSLR and phone settings would be similar. So I guess you should get started on that.
But like, I just wanted to know because uske liye, I hope all of you guys have downloaded the app and are ready with it. That when I start, you guys know. And I'm also hoping you guys have your cameras with you. Anush, you will be helping me out if anyone has questions related to phone photography because मैंने app try नहीं की. So yeah. Okay, so for everyone that has their camera with them, Anush, if you have yours, nikal lo. I think.
Yeah, I can grab mine.
Yeah, okay. Anya, I think you should grab yours as well. Okay, so basically, like I told in yesterday's class, my camera is very old. It's a Canon EOS 500D, and I bought it in 2012. So, which is why I emphasize so much on equipment doesn't matter. The lens I have is a 50mm f1.8, and we will be starting off with the settings first. So if you can like look, I don't know how clear this might be. Wait, should I join from my phone so I can like, you guys can have a clear perspective on this? I'll use it to show my. I can't see my own body.
Maybe we can start with an introduction to what a raw photo is and why you need manual settings.
Acha, wait.
Yeah.
Okay, so basically, I'll start with this, but I just wanted to join from my phone so I could show you guys the settings वगैरह clearly because I'm not sure you guys might be able to see it यहाँ से. But basically, majority, or I guess all the photographers, when they shoot on manual mode, which is the M. Okay, you guys can't see, but it's just a simple M on your camera. So you have to shoot with that setting. Because उसमें क्या होता है कि आप अपना ISO, आप अपना aperture और आप अपनी shutter speed को control कर सकते हो according to your circumstances. आप जिस surrounding में हो, for example, कभी-कभी ऐसा होता है आप रात को shoot कर रहे हो and you're like, how do I fix my settings? ये तो बहुत dark आ रहा है या something like that. So you know, it's really good if you shoot on manual mode. Secondly, I would advise everyone to shoot on raw mode as well. So basically, raw mode is, okay, you guys won't be able to see this, but raw is an option, which is basically, it really helps with when you have to, you know, it helps in post-processing, post-editing, if that makes sense. So if you end up taking a shot which is too dark, or maybe it gets too bright, right? अगर आपने उसे raw mode में shoot किया है, then only is your chance of saving yourself, because जब आप उसे editing में खोलोगे, so for example Lightroom or Photoshop, आप उसे edit कर सकते हो without okay, wait. Without क्या कहते हैं उसे, you know, messing up the picture and the entire thing as well, the picture. Anush, someone saying the Android link isn't working.
The वो APK है, वो link नहीं है, उनको direct download करनी पड़ेगी. Upload that as a file.
I think we can figure that out for the next class, but until then,
yeah. For now, we can focus on the basics, I guess.
Yeah, I can explain the settings to you. So basically, M is manual mode, which you have to shoot on. And raw is in the manual mode. You guys really can't see, right? No, it's not going to be visible. But it's inside the manual mode where you have to select raw. अगर आप लोगों को कोई प्रॉब्लम आ रही है, कुछ नहीं समझ आता, तो please do not hesitate to ask me. I will try my best to explain it to you. I can't really show here, वरना मैं दिखा देती.
You can, I think, share your screen and show them the aperture chart वगैरह जो होता है. I think that would be easier for them to understand उस chart की.
वो I will share अभी, because I know a lot of A lot of people are like, hey, ISO, aperture, shutter speed, वगैरह क्या होती है? But don't worry, I will explain that later on. So
And all these settings, they go for phone too. The manual cameras of phone. Yeah.
That's why वो जो मैं links दे रही हूँ for the apps, if you don't have a professional camera, please download those links because वो फिर settings वगैरह through the app you can manage those and change them. So basically अभी तक जो हमने cover किया, that's manual mode and RAW mode, right? Now we're going to move on to the three things, which is ISO, aperture, and shutter speed. So ISO is basically like the camera's way of it's the camera's sensitivity of reacting to light. ठीक है? So like अब हर कैमरा के लिए different होता है. If as far as I've seen, because I have seen a lot of people shoot at like ISO, I don't know, like above 1,000 and their pictures are still crisp, right? लेकिन मैं अगर अपने कैमरा में 400 से ऊपर जाऊं, my pictures become very noisy. अब I will show you what I mean. The thing is कि ISO में, if you have your cameras open, you would probably be able to see there's like ISO 100, ISO 200, 400, 800, and then it keeps going up and up. I would advise, और जो मैं करती हूँ, I don't shoot above 400 because 400 के बाद क्या होता है? There's a lot of noise in the pictures. अब noise का क्या मतलब है? Your picture becomes very grainy. So I do have a few examples which I will be showing you guys. फिर उसकी वजह से क्या होता है? आप नॉइज को इतना पोस्ट एडिटिंग में वो नहीं कर सकते, you can't like really clear up everything. आप थोड़ा सा नॉइज रिडक्शन वाला टूल इस्तेमाल कर सकते हो, but if you use it a bit too much, it looks really fake and people will know कि ये कहाँ पर मसला हुआ है. So hold on, I have to share my screen again. Can you guys see this? So one side it says ISO 100. अब क्या होता है कि ISO 100 is a really low setting. उसमें फिर there are other things that you have to keep in mind. अब since ISO 100 gets really dark, you need to make sure फिर उसके साथ साथ आपको अपना aperture और अपनी shutter speed का ध्यान रखना होता है and you need to manage that. तो मैं जो करती हूँ, I keep my ISO below 400 and I play around with my shutter speed. I'll get to shutter speed in the next few minutes, but basically yeah, the person took ISO 100 से they did a comparison. अब ISO 100 वाली जो picture है, it's really clean, it's really crisp, you can basically like see everything, right? अब जो ISO 3200 है, it gets way too noisy. This is what I mean when I say noisy. उसमें बहुत ज़्यादा grain आ जाता है and there's no point of a picture like this, right? So make sure to keep your ISO as small as low as possible. और फिर उसके बाद, I hope you guys are understanding everything. I'm sorry, I initially planned to show you guys everything on my camera, lekin since it's not really visible, I hope you're understanding what I'm saying. I think I'm going to take like, okay, Amina has a question. Amina, you can unmute and ask. Okay, I guess that was by mistake. Someone else, Miss Hashmi's hand is also raised. I'm assuming this is by mistake, but if not, so please ask your question. I'm going to take like a 2-minute break, and आपके पास जो device है, I think it's like best if you mess around with your ISO थोड़ा सा. Just try like taking a picture at ISO 100 and like at ISO 400, और फिर उसे like ज़्यादा करते जाओ, and फिर I'll move on to aperture. ठीक है? So like just a 2-minute break. हाँ, so exactly. Fiza, ISO is basically brightness, right? जब आप ISO 100 पे होगे ना, your picture will come out pretty dark, or it'll come out not as bright as you wanted, but it'll be dark. अब ISO 400 पर your picture would be visible, it's really good, and it's clean and crisp. फिर उसके साथ you have to manage your shutter speed as well, making sure that जो आपकी picture है, it stays bright to a level where everything is visible, but it's also not grainy. अब क्या होगा when you adjust your ISO on your phone? Just try it at like the highest ISO that's available on your phone. I don't know क्या होगा, but I'm pretty sure it's like 3200 or something. उसमें your picture will become really bright. और फिर अब obviously on a smaller screen you can't really see everything, but when you open it up on your laptop to edit or on your phone to edit, you'll see there's like a lot of noise. So उसमें, okay, for you it's 800. Yeah, then that's not a lot. That's really not a lot. That's why, okay, makes sense. That's why you're not like seeing a lot of noise and stuff, because लोगों का बहुत high हो जाता है. Like मेरा खुद, I'll show you guys. My maximum is 3200. Yeah, so this is what I meant when I said that everyone has different ISOs. जिसकी वजह से I can't really tell you कि इस ISO पर रखो हमेशा, or you know this, because this is something that you need to play around with. You need to get yourself used to it. It does take time, lekin practice is everything, and you're only going to learn through practice. So Fatima, if you want to ask the question, please go ahead. I'll see if I want to answer it in this class or if we should leave it for the editing class. But like Isha said, her ISO is 6400, that's the highest. Isha, what I want you to do is I want you to change your ISO to 6400 and take a picture of anything. Wherever you're just sitting, just take a picture. And I want you to tell me how bright or how noisy it is, what your camera is doing. So ISO is something that you need to, hold on guys, my charger just fell. Sorry. Okay, so basically, Isha, I would like you to answer what I just asked you. Okay, I tried it with ISO 100 and yes, so see ISO 100 is going to be very dark because वो आपका सबसे lowest है. आप जितना high जाते जाओगे उतना bright होता जाएगा. And 6400 is very bright, exactly. So I want all of you to try it as well. उससे आप लोगों को पता लग जाएगा. The meeting is going to end in like 6 minutes. So I'm going to cover aperture, or I think you guys might need to join the link again so that I can cover shutter speed with you guys.
Good morning, teacher.
Good morning.
Yes.
Okay. Great. Achha. So for aperture, basically जो aperture होता है, hold on guys, I need a. So basically जो aperture होता है, it's something that works with your lens. I'm pretty sure a lot of you have kit lens, which is an 18 to 50 mm. Wait, I'm forgetting the exact. I think it's 18 to 50 mm. जो आपकी lens होते हैं, and it's called a kit lens. But I have a 50 mm lens, which means कि I can't zoom in or zoom out. So अगर मैंने तस्वीर लेनी है of, for example, a huge group, I wouldn't necessarily do it with a 50 mm वाला lens. I would use another lens, लेकिन I'd have to move like really back. Or if I was taking like a close-up, then a 50 mm is perfect because उसमें फिर details वगैरह बहुत crisp होती हैं. 58 mm. Sorry, Isha. Yeah. So please do correct me if I'm wrong because मैं इतनी जल्दी बोल रही हूँ. I think I probably not really know what I'm saying. So yeah. So the 50 mm is, mine is f1.8. अब 1.8 का मतलब होता है कि when I focus on क्या कहते हैं उसे, on an object, my entire background is going to be blur. So फिर वो क्या होता है कि the entire focus is on the person, the model. तो उसकी वजह से everything looks really good because I don't want to know. For example, you're in a fish market, right? And you're trying to take a picture. अब editorials वगैरह ऐसे ही होते हैं when you're trying to do this. So hold on, guys. I'm trying to find the folder that I saved everything on. There. Can you see it? Okay, this is aperture. F1.8 is the lens that I have. अब उसमें क्या होता है? Your model or whatever the object is, it becomes very clear. और जो बाकी सारा होता है, the background becomes a blur. And when a person is like, for example, scrolling through Instagram or something like that, उनकी जब नजर आपकी picture पर पड़ेगी, they'll be captivated, right? Because उनकी attention will be on the object that's in focus. Rather than जो F5.6 है, which is this picture, उसमें क्या है? The model is in focus, but the background is visible. वो थोड़ा सा blur है, but everyone else can see it, right? So वो इतना, it's not really a good picture. So it's not something that people would look at and be like, wow, or oh my God, this person has such good photography skills, or this is such a good picture. It's nothing like that. So the aperture basically depends on your क्या कहते हैं उसे, lens. So whatever lens you're going to buy, make sure that your f point is something which is like good enough. So I really want another lens, but I'm not going to be talking about lens because for equipment we have another class for that. But basically, okay, I have questions, so I need to stop sharing. Okay, please send me the recording. Lens नहीं है, अच्छा वो क्या करे? See, the thing is that lens is an advantage for you. It's not something that's a necessity. Yes, you're right. Not every lens offers a 1.8, and kit lens don't even have that. So that's fine. I've shot on a kit lens my whole life. I just got this last year. And
I still shoot on my kit lens.
Exactly.
You can take pictures with the kit lens. Equipment doesn't matter, honestly.
Exactly. It's just something that you have an advantage if you have a good lens, but आपकी जो क्या कहते हैं, your picture and your composition is what matters more. Because अगर आपकी composition is the best in the world and still not have good photos. So don't worry if you have like a kit lens or something. It's fine. You just need to make sure that you practice. I'm telling all of this because if in the near future you're planning on buying a new lens or something, please keep in mind that aperture is something that you need to be looking out for. I think this class is about to end, but the 50mm isn't even that expensive when I bought it. So yeah, don't worry about money or equipment. No, not, it depends like where and how the scratch is, Fatima. But I'm hoping ज़्यादा नहीं है. लेकिन अगर ऐसा कुछ हो भी तो in the editing class, I would like you to take like some pictures, and if the scratch kind of like, you know, shows up in the pictures or something, then we can help you somehow, you know, cover it up, Photoshop it through or something like that, where we could teach you guys. We have less than a minute, but guys, please do join the class again. I have to cover shutter speed till now. Abhi, and do you guys have any problems? Yes, do try contacting a repair shop, but if you guys have any problems, please let me know. I'm waiting for a few more people to join in. I think 5:50 पे हम शुरू करेंगे दोबारा class. Okay, so someone just commented that they have another session at 6 p.m. So I guess मैं शुरू कर देती हूँ. I'll just give a really brief recap. अभी तक हमने manual mode cover किया है. Raw, please shoot. That session will start once the session. Okay, great. I hope you guys are clear about that. Here, I guess, should I wait 2 more minutes? Or should I start? I'll wait 2 more minutes. Okay, Isha wants to know what raw mode is. I think मैं उतनी देर तक recap कर देती हूँ. So basically, Isha, raw mode क्या होता है? जब आप shoot करती हो ना, I'm pretty sure you've seen this. जब आप pictures को अपने laptop में import करती हो, your pictures are probably in JPEG form, जो JPG form होता है, उसमें होती होंगी. अब the thing is, raw mode में there are a lot of photographers I know जिनके साथ ये हो चुका है already. For example, if you are asked to take pictures of a wedding or something, मैंने एक दफ़ा किसी की Instagram story पर देखा था. She was a professional photographer and she ended up taking the entire wedding photography like overexposed. सब तस्वीरें were like super white. And I remember she came back home and she posted about it on her story. Okay, I just ended up, you know, taking all these pictures इतनी overexposed. अब उसमें क्या होता है कि obviously किसी की शादी है, they're not going to do the wedding again just so the pictures come out right. So, but luckily she shot them in raw mode. अब raw mode में क्या होता है? When she transfers the pictures to Photoshop or Lightroom or whatever editing software she uses, उसमें she can fix the entire picture. वो brightness को इतना decrease या इतना decrease कर सकती है या अपने curve को इतना वो कर सकती है. She can play around with her curve and, you know, manage the settings so well. But this, and then at the end, the picture will look like कि ये तो overexposed कभी थी नहीं. It's like a perfect picture. तो उसमें क्या होता है कि when you shoot in raw mode, आपके पास बहुत ज़्यादा liberty होती है to edit around and yet still make sure that the picture is perfect. For example, if you end up taking a picture in a really dark place, और वो बिल्कुल ऐसे तो जैसे when you come back home and you know you transfer your pictures into Lightroom or Photoshop, you can increase the brightness or the curve so much कि आपकी brightness बिल्कुल सही हो जाएगी. Everyone will be visible और वो जो grain होता है या वो जो noise होती है, you won't be able to see that in the pictures. इसीलिए please shoot in raw mode. I need to share with you guys this really great chart that one of the other mentors, Anush, shared with me. And you guys see this? Okay, so this is basically जो top पर है, that's your f point, your focal point, which is the aperture that we talked about. अब f32, this is f32. जब आपका lens ऐसा होगा तो जो सब कुछ है तस्वीर में, it will be visible. The person will be visible. The mountains in the back will be visible. सब कुछ like नजर आ रहा होगा. तो फिर उसमें क्या होता है कि जो attention है ना viewer की, it's not on one thing. They're like इस picture में बहुत कुछ हो रहा है. there's a man, there are mountains, there's the cloud, there are trees, there's so much. तो फिर उसमें attention divert हो जाती है. अब F22 में it becomes a bit like more in focus, but you still can't really see it. फिर F16 में भी वैसे है. F11 में जब आपका focal point F11 होता है, so you can like really start seeing के the mountains are becoming blur, or and you know the focus is type of like kind of on the man. And then F8 में it gets really blur, as you can see, and the focus is still on the mountains as well as the man, लेकिन फिर भी थोड़ा थोड़ा पता लग रहा होता है कि you know अच्छा, the photographer's idea was to basically have the man in focus. फिर F5 या F6 में भी, F4 में you know like फिर जाकर F1.4 में this is what happens. The person is entirely in focus, और जो कुछ पीछे हो रहा है it's like blur completely. So this is the thing with like really low F points कि फिर आप जहाँ मर्जी खड़े हो ना, you can take a picture and no one will be able to tell कि आपने ये तस्वीर कहाँ ली है. You could literally be standing in your room and you could you know take the picture because the background or the setup doesn't really matter. बस ज़्यादा वो clashing वगैरह वाला background ना हो कि फिर भी attention बंदे की उस पे जा रही है. So जो F point होते हैं, that is entirely dependent on your lens, right? Okay. We have questions. Oh, can you please? Is this only about the manual mode? Because camera में there is this option of blurring the background, right? There is. No. Okay. जो F point होता है, that's not related to manual mode. Like I said, it's related to your camera lens. अब जब आप lens खरीदते हो या whatever lens you have at home, you can't hear anything. Can all of you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, great. ठीक है. Isha, so you said that this is not in the manual mode. This is in your lens. अब मेरे lens के ऊपर लिखा हुआ है. It says it right here somewhere, like 1:1.8 लिखा है. बहुत छोटा लिखा होता है, but every lens has that. So I really don't know kit lens का क्या होता है, because मुझे kit lens इस्तेमाल किए हुए बहुत देर हो गई है. But yes, so like मेरा जो focal point है ना, that's 1.8. I can't really change it a whole lot. I can go from 1 to 1.8 maximum. Lekin a lot of cameras have the option of changing their focal point. बहुत variations होती हैं उसमें. They can like go from a setting where lens. They can go from a setting where their entire background is visible to a setting where you know only they are visible and the entire background is blurred. So it depends. It really depends on your lens. So you have to see and you know basically play around with your lens and stuff. Okay. I hope I cleared up everything. I'm going to move on to shutter speed and then I'll explain ISO again. Shutter speed basically क्या होती है? It helps. I want to really explain this बहुत बच्चों वाले तरीके में, because मुझे पता है यहाँ पे बहुत सारे ऐसे लोग हैं जिन्होंने कभी photography की भी नहीं है. So I want to make sure that you know you guys understand everything. Shutter speed basically handles the blur in your picture. जैसे you know, you must have seen a lot of pictures जो wildlife photographers होते हैं. They take pictures of cheetahs and like hummingbirds वगैरह. और अब hummingbird, like birds though, they can like fly off and you need to you know capture them in the moment. लोग हमेशा सोचते हैं, and I used to think that as well, कि इनकी तस्वीरें ऐसी कैसी होती हैं. A bird moves so fast you can like barely see it, and capturing it without any motion, like without any blur, how is it possible? So ये जो सारा काम होता है, that's basically your shutter speed. अब shutter speed में the higher you go, क्या कहते हैं? So the higher you go basically is when you won't have a blur image. So the lower you are, like half a shutter speed, this here, right here, is like a really blur. But if you keep moving up, you go to 1/4 of a shutter speed, you can like see the man, but he's still very blurred. 1/8 maybe, you can see the man, but वो blurred है and the picture is not going to turn out great, right? फिर ऐसे you keep moving, and then like 1/125 वाली जो shutter speed है, उसमें the man is visible, लेकिन फिर उसमें क्या होता है कि अब इस graph में तो they can't obviously show it accurately, लेकिन उसमें भी there's like some form of blur, और पता लग रहा होता है when you look at the picture कि इसकी shutter speed बहुत कम है and like ये blur picture है. So the higher you go, so like 1/1000th of a shutter speed would be very crisp, and you can like see, like you can only see the person in focus, or will be without any blurriness. I'm going to share this picture I have. Okay, so look at this. Do you guys see this? This is taken at 3 seconds of a shutter speed. You can see the blurriness. अब कोई types of photography या कोई लोगों के जो photography होती है, it's very they like doing this type of motion photography. तो उसमें they set their shutter speed. Can you guys not see it? Can you? Okay. So basically, this is very blur because of the shutter speed. अब अगर ये बंदी अपनी shutter speed को ज़्यादा रखती, तो when she was moving in, like when she was in motion, for example, she went like this, there wouldn't be blur, and her face would be very, like the picture would be very crisp and clear. So for example, अब जो Olympics में जो runners वगैरह होते हैं, sprinters होते हैं, they run so fast, and the entire trick to that is कि आपकी shutter speed का वो सारा होता है कि you have to manage your shutter speed. Just a thing where when you take a picture, the person is entirely visible, और वो ऐसी picture blur ना हो. अब I'm pretty sure you've also seen pictures where क्या कहते हैं, for example waterfall है, right? Waterfall में अब क्या होता है, there are a lot of photographers जिनकी तस्वीरें मैंने देखी हैं, जो पानी है, it looks like silk, and I always used to wonder, I was like, ये silk कैसे होता है? I'll show you guys. This is how they do it. अब do you guys see this picture? The water is very clear, मतलब नजर आ रही है, उसकी waves, उसका सब कुछ नजर आ रहा है. This is shot at 1/5 of a second shutter speed. This here is very silky, like you can't see the details entirely. आपको कुछ नजर नहीं आ रहा कि वो wave कहाँ पर है and everything. This is taken at 6-second shutter speed. Up the higher you go, the better it will become. Like there will be क्या कहते हैं उसे, less blurriness. So basically, I wanted to cover these 3 things आज की class में: ISO, shutter speed, and aperture, and we discussed manual mode and raw mode. अब जितनी भी मैंने आप लोगों को चीजें बताई हैं, like ISO, shutter speed, and aperture, that can be set when you are shooting manual mode पर. So when you open up like manual mode, you'll see कि वहाँ पर ISO, shutter speed वगैरह की option होती है. So you guys have to play around with all of that and basically try it. उसके अलावा, if you guys have any questions, anything related to the class or just to photography in general, please ask me. I did try to like finish this jaldi se because it's 6:02 and the next sessions also have to start. So if you guys have any questions, please let me know. Yes, hopefully it will be available for you guys to watch again. It is being recorded, So let's hope we get all the technical stuff right this time. If you guys have any other questions, please let me know. No problem. Android app ka, we will figure something out. Okay. We will. My audio was disturbed, so I didn't listen to the aperture and shutter speed stuff.
We
That's
will
all.
be uploading a manual settings chart to the Google Classroom, so it will be like easier for you guys to check your settings with that chart and then take photographs. Baki, the link, yes, we will be uploading the link on Google Classroom too. Yusra will do that. Us app ka, I think that's about it. If someone has any questions from your mentors, please ask.
If you guys don't have any questions, let me know, so then we can end this class. But if you do, agar aap logon ko, I will upload the sheet that, the picture that I showed you guys, just may different ISOs, different apertures or different shutter speeds thi, taaki when you guys are practicing on your